Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to the Roomies Digest. In today's video, we are going to be doing the second installment in the Book Talks series. And it wouldn't be the second book talk without talking about the second book in the ACOTAR series. That was a lot of loop-de-loops and roundy rounds, but we're back together. Bum, bum, da-da-da-da-da, bum, bum, da. So, if you hadn't noticed, of course, we are going to be talking about A Court of Mist and Fury. As you guys know, I've already read this entire series up until Silver Flames, which will be coming out next week. This is the second book in the ACOTAR series, and I did give it a reread last month. My rating for this book is a 5-star. It's got an enemies to lovers trope, which I love. Y'all know I'm into the baddies. And it also has a friends to families trope, which of course I love because I feel like my friends are my family, so I can relate to that trope so much. But also the action, the drama, the betrayal. Y'all, this book is chock full. So let's get into some details. This book officially has 624 pages, which is a honking 200 more than the first book in this series. And I know what you're thinking, like, Christine, why would I put myself through this? Because it's A Court of Mist and Fury, and you're going to want to put yourself through this. A Court of Mist and Fury is the second installment in the ACOTAR series. It follows Feyre as she is dealing with her emotional and physical trauma from the first book. I don't want to give too much away, but some stuff goes down in the first book in this series. We start off this book by having to deal with that. So she goes off with her love and she's trying to deal with that, but keeps running into these emotional roadblocks. She keeps having these PTSD moments. PTSD? Why did I say that so weird? She keeps having these PTSD moments where she's caught back in the emotional trauma and remembering the physical trauma of what happened in the first book. And she's having a really hard time, and it seems like no one can really help her until she does get help from a friend who's not a friend at first. Anyway, in this book, we really get to know the character Rhysand and his entire Night Court family, which involves 4 other characters. He has his cousin, Mor, his second in command, Amren, and his 2 Illyrian brothers, Azriel and Cassian. So we get into the backstory of Rhysand and all of his like friends slash co-workers slash family slash whatever you want to call them, his people, and it's just really eye-opening in this book. We also have, like I said, the enemies to lovers trope. Not gonna say who it was or who it is. And we do indeed get to see more of Feyre's family and kind of what her sisters are dealing with being on the outside of the fairy realm. Now, my friend Rachel will tell you that this book is super crazy and super random because it has like 15 plots going on, and there are some really random plot points. I am not going to lie to you, okay? But I enjoy that. And like I said in the first video of this series, Sarah J. Maas does like to make things a little bit convenient for her characters, so do with that what you will. But she does write some incredibly tragic backstories for literally everyone in these books, and it just makes you want to feel things. So you either connect or you don't. That's up to you. Another thing that I really liked about this book is the setting. Again, Sarah J. Maas does a great job of just immersing you into the world. We get to see the inside of the Night Court, which is so taboo, no one has ever seen before. And we also get to see a land, I believe it's called Adriatis. Hold on, I need to look this up. Okay, I put in my Goodreads that it was Adriatis. I'm not sure if that's correct, but it's basically the Summer Court Kingdom, which is like a beachy, wavy, sand-kissed, blissed place. I loved when they visited that court. That was chef's kiss. Anyway, I don't want to give too much of the plot away, but a lot happens in this book, and of course, it would not be a Sarah J. Maas novel if a lot of action gets packed in this many pages of the book. I actually kind of forgot the things that happen in this book because there is so much going on. Obviously, it's 600 something pages. It starts off a little slow, I'm not gonna lie, because you just want to get to the juice, but all will be revealed later on. Like I said in the first book, Sarah J. Maas definitely leaves little breadcrumbs so that you can come through in this book and be like, oh, that's why that happened. It's just very interesting. The characters are so rich and well written. The setting, so rich, well written. The dialogue, so rich and well written. Like, I laugh constantly when I read this book. I was giggling, y'all. Not cackling, because you know how I cackle. But anyway, this book truly gives me joy, and I just love to be along for the ride, you know? This book does go into a lot of character backgrounds, and it's character driven, which I really like, as well as lots of plot, which is why it seems like it goes on and on and on forever. I believe that this is considered a YA. I'd say it's like a mature YA. It does have a little love scene in there. I mean, like, we got love scenes in the first book, but this is like a lot. There's like a lot of that going on in this book. So if you're not into that and you don't want to read about that, like, that's basically the whole middle of the book. We also get a glimpse at the Illyrian war camps, which is a part of the Night Court. You'll get to it, but that is a whole nother kind of people in this world. So yes. Plus, of course, we have conflict. Okay, we have a big conflict, and it kind of comes out of nowhere, which I can see why someone would rate it down, because it's really random and, like I said, convenient that there would be some huge conflict happening. But overall, I really enjoy this book, and I have to say that in the last couple of, I want to say it's like the last couple of chapters, but I don't even know if it's that long, some stuff goes down. But you have to realize that it's all part of the plan. It's all part of Sarah J. Maas. Also, Feyre is not as annoying in this book, which is good for me, because in the first book she really just annoys the heck out of me. But in this book she kind of gets a backbone. Okay, there are some moments where you're like, okay, girl. And I really like her relationship with her family, like her actual family. I didn't like it the first time because I kind of hated how her sisters treated her, but in the reread, I had a whole new light, like I had a whole new light shed on this book, and I'm just really, really appreciating it. And then, of course, we need to talk about chapter 55. That is where, of course, some dirty details and things happen in this book. And I'm not even gonna say that that's like the beginning of the smut, because there is some smut in this book. Lots of sexual tension. And yeah, chapter 55. Other than that, there are like betrayals in this book. There are plot twists in this book. There are higher stakes in this book. Now, whether you care about those higher stakes or not, that's up to you, but I'm really invested. I really love this book. And of course, like I said, gave it a 5 stars. Anyway, I really enjoyed it, and I think it is a stellar second book in this series. It's one of my favorites. People always talk about how this is the favorite of the series. I also, like I said, really love the relationships in this book. Okay, obviously there is the main relationship between Feyre and her guy, but there are other side relationships that I'm just so invested in, and I love to my core entire being. I really can't get over it, and I'm so excited for Silver Flames to come out. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about that. So the roundup, or the all in all about this book, if you are looking for a fantasy novel to immerse yourself in that has a little bit of smut in it, and also the friends to family trope, the enemies to lovers trope, also some action in there, some side character love development that we all really just want to see more of. Great characters, great settings, and fantastic writing, then this is the book for you, and I highly recommend. You do probably want to read ACOTAR before you get to this book, but let me tell you, this book is definitely worth it. So that is all that I have to say about A Court of Mist and Fury. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys loved or hated it. I know some people just can't get with it. They're like, this is too much. There's literally too much going on. But for someone who actually reads fantasy and likes fantasy and is a sucker for any kind of YA fantasy novel, I really enjoy this book and would recommend to anyone else who has interest just like me. So yeah, guys, that's it. That is the book talk for A Court of Mist and Fury. The next book in this series is going to be the A Court of Wings and Ruin, and also A Court of Frost and Starlight put together, because we all know that Frost and Starlight is like a tiny little novella that happens after Wings and Ruin. So we'll get to that, and I'll let you guys know if you really need to read that book before moving on to Silver Flames, or if you can just skip it. I don't know. I'm like very much an avid person who's like, read every book so you get all the details. Like, you need to know what's going on so you can get all the inside jokes. When people post it online, you can be like, I really know what that is because I read it. Tangent aside, I will let you guys know in the next book talk, which will be coming very, very soon, because I'm going to try and get these out before the new book comes out next week. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining me today. If you will be so kind as to like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell if you want to support this channel, and also let us know what books you want us to do a book talk about, because obviously it's only me today, but in the future Monique will also be doing book talks as well. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this gave you a little bit of clarity on A Court of Mist and Fury, the elusive chapter 55. And any other questions or things you didn't know about the book before, without, of course, giving you spoilers. So until next video, I will see you guys next time.